So friends, first things first, let's take a nice deep breath because that's always a good thing to do, right? And I'm going to talk more about that, of course, in this webinar that we're going to do together. And this is also something that, of course, we do the whole day through breathing. We do it more than 20,000 times a day. But there's many people, of course, that don't breathe in the proper way. And we're going to talk a bit about that as well. That your state of mind determines very much how you are breathing. So if you're stressed out, for example, or if you're feeling anxious, your breathing pattern is a bit different. You don't breathe so deeply, you're breathing very shallow, high up in the lungs. And also sometimes if you are stressed out or worries, it can happen that you start to overbreathe. You start to breathe more actively. And that can have all sorts of negative impacts on your health. And we will see also that when you start to breathe more calmly, you can influence your own state of mind. You can influence your own emotional system by using the breath like a remote control almost to start to calm down and balance your mental or emotional system, or with certain strong breathing techniques when you're feeling a bit low on energy, when you're feeling lethargic, when you need some activation, that we can start to increase the energy in the mind and the body, right? So it's with the breath that is very much influenced by your state of mind and your state of emotion, but also vice versa. You can use the breath to start to improve or activate more or release more the mind and the emotional system. But it's good with this to understand that there are certain ways of using it in the wrong way, so to say, because nowadays it's very popular to do lots of very powerful, strong breathing techniques which have their own benefits. They are wonderful, but if you do them too much, you can actually burn too much of your energy, so to say, or you can activate too much your energy system and you actually become a bit more restless and have problems maybe sleeping, or you become a bit more emotional imbalanced and all these kind of things. So the thing is to know really what kind of breathing technique has what kind of effect on our mental, emotional, and physical system. And I'm going to talk about this saying a lot our energy system, right? So if I'm talking about the energy system, what I mean is every time we have a thought, our neurons are firing together in a certain way. That means that there is a flow of energy through the brain. Or if I'm having a worry, or if I'm having just feeling of restlessness in my body, my whole nervous system, that is energy flowing through the nerves, electric energy, right? So all of that, the emotional system, the mind, the physical body, and the nervous system, that's all our energy system. The thing is, becoming able to control our own energy system, to maybe balance it out or to activate it when it's needed, and to know how to do this. One myth that I sometimes hear when people do very strong, powerful breathing is that you oxygenate your body by doing very strong and powerful breathing, and that it's through the oxygen that you bring very much into the body that you start to maybe space out a bit or feel tingling sensations and all these things. It's good to understand that that's not really the case. So I hope you're paying good attention, because now a lot of information is gonna come through, all right? When we breathe, we ventilate air, right? There's ventilation, movement of air in and out of the body. Of course, we bring oxygen into the body when we're breathing in and out. The thing though is that if you breathe normally, if you breathe correctly, like most of you are probably doing now, the oxygen saturation level in your blood is already at something like 96%, 97%. You can increase this a little bit by breathing a lot more with maybe 2% or something like that, but that's basically it, right? A very minimal change of the oxygen level. What is happening, of course, also when you're breathing in and out is that you release carbon dioxide. And it's this carbon dioxide that is more really triggering lots of responses in the body. Because if you hyperventilate, meaning that you breathe in and out more than you actually need, hyper meaning more, you are releasing lots of carbon dioxide. And the carbon dioxide level, when it drops, it makes the blood more alkaline, and it has all sorts of effect on the body. One of them is that you get vasoconstriction. So things start to tighten up a bit more in the body. The whole blood flow, all the capillaries around the brain, the arteries, everything starts to contract more. Even the bronchi in the lungs, everything starts to contract more, right? So what this is actually doing, you decrease the blood flow in the brain. You decrease the blood flow in the body. The thing what is also happening, that your blood needs to have a little bit of acidity, needs some carbon dioxide to be able to release oxygen from the hemoglobin in the cells. Meaning that if the blood becomes very alkaline, it's very hard for the transporters in the blood, the hemoglobin, the transporters of oxygen, to release the oxygen into the cells. So what is actually happening when you are hyperventilating? On the one hand, vasoconstriction, everything starts to contract. On the other hand, it's more difficult to release oxygen from the hemoglobin in the cells. So what happens then is that you start to feel a bit spaced out. If you do it too much even, you start to faint. And this is what some people maybe feel when you're doing lots of hyperventilation, and they maybe be doing a breath hold, bringing even more pressure on the brain, stopping even more the blood flow in the body. People start to sometimes even faint. So this is not really what we want to have, right? I'm going to talk more about it, how it has its benefit to hyperventilate, because it has its place in the whole breathwork practice and the pranayama practice. But it should not be the main thing to just do hyperventilation. Let's see, everybody follows so far? Thumbs up if you do. Beautiful. Okay. And if you sometimes have some questions here and there, do ask them in the chat. But otherwise, I'll just keep talking. Let me see. So, when we practice hypoventilation, when we actually breathe a bit less than we actually need, then it becomes, the CO2 level rises, the blood becomes a little bit more acidic, then it becomes easier for the hemoglobin to release oxygen into the blood. This is called the Bohr effect. Now, we want to find that nice balance between doing hyperventilation techniques and doing hypoventilation techniques. Because with the hyperventilation techniques, what we're doing is we activate very much our energy system. It's really great to unblock certain blockages in our energy system, in the mind or the emotional system, and to start to release and open up everything. However, when we have released energy in our energetic system, we need to then also balance things out. Otherwise, maybe we activate very much and it's all very much in the mind or maybe in the emotional system. And then imagine if right after doing 3 rounds of strong hyperventilation and all the energy is released, and then you go straight into, I don't know, the supermarket, or you go straight into your studies, your school, or whatever it is. You have to be interacting again with people or just being in normal life. You will feel very unbalanced, out of place. The energy is not in a way that it is grounded anymore. So that's why it's so important after doing some hyperventilation to then take time to balance things out, to smoothen things out, to bring everything again grounded into your foundation, so that you can again in normal life after feel that you are grounded and balanced, right? So therefore, it is really good, like the 2 wings of a bird or 2 wheels on a cart, to develop both of these practices. And it's of course beautiful, as I mentioned before, with all these wonderful hyperventilation techniques that come from, of course, beautiful ancient traditions, shamanic breathing and conscious connected breathing and Wim Hof breathing and all these different types of names and breathing techniques that there are now. But to understand what is happening and how to use it in the best way. So with these beautiful breathing techniques, if we learn to use our breathing properly, with the strong breathing, it's on a physical level, it really strengthens your respiratory system, it cleans out the lungs, it improves the heart, the strength of the heart, improves metabolism, etc. And then if we can combine it also with smoothing things out, with balancing things out, and bringing our awareness into a deep state of relaxation, a deep state of meditation, and the mind becomes more balanced, the emotional system becomes more released, open, healed from trauma, all these things, then our life becomes a lot more pleasant to live. And then it's also very much about taking these breathing techniques into daily life. That is not just for the 20 minutes that you do your breathing practice and do a bit of meditation, and then in daily life again you are all over the place and a very restless way of living and always going from A to B but never really being present. To also take that state of meditation, that state of calmness and groundedness into our daily life. And for that it is then good to every now and again, when you're sitting somewhere, to take 3 or 5 breaths to center yourself, to calm yourself. And if you notice that you're feeling stressed out about a meeting with your boss or family member or client, and you're getting a little bit tensed up, that you know, okay, with just a couple of breaths, that energy system is now in a very restless state, let me ground it again. And you become master in bringing your awareness back into your foundation, so to say, so that you can live from a solid foundation instead of living from a very restless state of being. Okay, so that the practice becomes more than just a short 20-minute practice in the morning, or just about physical health, or just about making a record of who can hold the breath longest, but that it becomes integrated into life, that your whole way of living becomes more balanced, more wholesome, and more conscious. Right? So far, everybody follows? Good. Just very curious, maybe if you want, you can put it in the chat, but where everybody is from, I would love to see that, because I think there's really people from all over the world, which is very beautiful. Dubai, Netherlands, Switzerland, Chicago, India, California, wonderful. Spain, Israel, Croatia. It's going so fast now I cannot even read. Very beautiful, friends. So nice to see, and I think breathwork is really changing the world, right? That people are starting to use the breath to connect with their own power to heal, and not be only dependent on medication or on doctors, which has its own part in society, which can also be very useful, don't get me wrong, but that people feel that they can empower themselves with their breath, that they can find healing of trauma, or when the mind is very restless, or addictions, that people find with the breath that they can start to heal themselves and heal their lives. And that is such a beautiful thing that is happening now in the world, and you are of course part of that beautiful revolution of the breath in the world, so to say. So that is really fantastic. Good. So more about the breath. We know now about hypoventilation and hyperventilation, right? This has, of course, a beautiful benefit for the whole physical system, the mind, and the emotional system. However, we can take this a bit deeper, this practice, that it becomes also really about cultivating your consciousness, about elevating or evolving your consciousness, that you start to become more aware that life is more than just this flesh and bones with which we're going through life, that life is more than just our desires and our fears and our emotions and all these things, but that we are aware that there is a deeper layer in life, that there's a consciousness which is conscious of a mind that is chatting, that's conscious of emotions that come up and go, and sometimes happy and then sad and then this and that, but that you are aware, like, okay, there is the emotional system. Sometimes you feel happy and then you feel sad and then this happens, that happens. That instead of sitting in that roller coaster, and for some people, if the emotional system is not very balanced, you feel like, well, give me a break. And sometimes I feel happy and then somebody says something and I feel fearful. But that you can take a step out of that roller coaster and watch, like, okay, interesting. I'm having the feelings of feeling sadness and anger, and that's life. We're not robots. We're not trying to ignore feelings or emotions or something like that. But we don't have to become completely the emotions. We don't have to become the sadness. We don't have to become the anger. We don't have to be the mind that is constantly chatting. But we can observe the mind if we train ourselves. Like, it's like a background radio that is talking. It's restless now. Okay. So that you become aware of a deeper layer of our being, not just flesh and bones, not just emotions and mind, but a consciousness which is behind this, right? So otherwise, what I see sometimes when people practice for many years already breathwork practices or strong breathing practices, which is beautiful, by the way, but that it kind of reaches a kind of glass ceiling. They cannot take the practice deeper. They do more breathing maybe, or maybe more longer rounds, or maybe stronger breathing, and trying to get really that sense of high, of feeling tingling in the fingers, or feeling spaced out, high on your own supply. But it stays at that level. To bring our practice deeper, we have to actually do the opposite and also start to actually slow down our breathing, and to go out of a desire to feel more sensations, to feel more spaced out, into actually becoming able to feel less and less and less and less, the more the subtle layers of our being, so that we can feel the subtlest layers of just feeling the heart beating in the fingertips, or just feeling the blood flowing through the arms, or just feeling our face, that every cell in the body is actually giving off a certain signal, that we can really feel on a deeper level life as it is happening now in the most simplest form, and to see the beauty of that, the beauty in the simplest, in the most minimalistic. So that by doing so, we stop chasing always sensations, because we are, many of us at least in this society, sensation seekers. We always want more sensations, and maybe more spectacular movies with more spectacular CGI and special effects, or maybe more drama in emotional movies, or more tastes in our, with taste sensations in our food. So everything has to become more spectacular to satisfy the senses. However, we become more and more desensitized. We become less sensitive for just feeling the simple fact of living, of sitting and breathing, or the simple fact of when you walk around in a park and there's no special effects, but maybe there's just a beautiful tree, or beautiful flower, or beautiful architecture. Because if we have no calmness in the mind, no peace in the mind, no openness in the heart, and the mind is constantly restless, we are not able to just be present, just to enjoy the simple fact of living, or just connecting with other human beings, emotionally, physically, and mentally, right? So that's why we want to actually also calm down, to still the mind, to quiet the mind, to bring our awareness beyond the mind and the emotional system, so that we can start to live life with much more presence, with much more connection, and not always in a very restless state, right? So therefore, and this is something I will talk a lot about also in the breathwork instructor course, in the life awareness breathwork instructor course, how to bring the practice from just a physical exercise and just that it's about health and strength and having your moment of feeling spaced out, into deepening the practice, that you go into a deep state of realization that on a subtler level, life is already happening, so to say. That on a subtle level, we understand that, I don't have to have very spectacular feelings or sensations or peak experience in releasing emotions or all these peak experiences that we seek, but just to be is already enough. Just to breathe, just to sit. And in that sense, we merge our awareness really with just what is now. And that merging, that unifying of our awareness with what is now, that brings so much of a sense of it's already good, it's already okay, you already belong, you are already loved, you are already complete, if we can really start to feel that, right? So this is, of course, make sure you keep taking nice deep breaths, friends, because I'm talking a lot, and there's, as I mentioned before, lots of information coming through, but keep oxygenating your brain. But in this road to becoming able to really sit in peace with the moment, with yourself, it's a bit of a way to get there. Because many people, when you have nothing to do, you just sit still, you become a bit bored. That energy system is very restless, because you feel you need to be entertained by something. You need to check your phone, you need to look at the screen, or you need to call someone, you need to eat something. Very seldom can people really just sit for longer than 5 or 10 minutes and feel at peace by just being, right? So with all these breathing techniques, if people are very restless, it's very hard to teach just sit and just enjoy the moment, because then or just breathe calmly, because then people sit and then you say, okay, just breathe calmly and enjoy the moment, and they're like, oh, it's not working, feeling so restless, this is boring, I want to go home, I still need to send that email, this or that. So it's really hard, because their awareness is very entangled with the mind. With the strong breathing techniques, what we're doing actually then is to bring the mind, the awareness out of the mind into the body. And that's already bringing the awareness more present into what is really now. Out of the mind, out of the thinking, back into the body, just to feel the body. After doing some rounds of strong breathing techniques, you feel really the body, you feel more, maybe some tingling in the skin, you're a bit more present, a bit more aware, which is, of course, great. First, the sympathetic nervous system by strong breathing is activated, meaning the active part of your nervous system is very much activated. But then slowly it becomes much easier after to go into a state of rest and digest. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated, in which you can calm a little bit more. You can become a little bit more present and relaxed. So from that state, when we are a little bit more relaxed, then we can do more slow breathing techniques to go even deeper into that relaxed state. By soft breathing and this calm breathing, we smoothen everything out so that it becomes easy to go into a state of meditation. And one of my beautiful teachers, Dr. Omananda Guruji, he told me that meditation is medication. It's probably a very famous saying in India, but at least he told me meditation is medication. So that in that state of meditation, of feeling presence, things start to balance out in the emotional system. Things start to heal. Things start to calm down in the mind. And that the whole energy system, so to say, becomes more balanced, and that we can live life with more presence and calmness. Okay. So there is one more breathing technique that is also very useful in this practice, and it comes from also from the ancient pranayama technique, which is the cleansing breathing techniques. For example, Kapalabhati, in which we breathe with the abdominal area. Show you, we make movements like we breathe in and out through the nose, and this very much, on the one hand, activates a bit more the energy system, but it also starts to clean out the energy system. In yoga, this is called the nadis. The nadis, the channels of energies through the body. We are starting to clean that out by bringing a light pressure and release, light pressure, release, light pressure, release. And this is very, very beneficial also to physically, you become much more healthy, your digestion becomes better, your metabolism becomes better, of course your lungs and your sinuses, everything start to activate, to clean out. But also on a deeper level, we clean out any stuck energies that are in our system. I will talk more about it also in this breathwork instructor course, because there's a whole long topic about this, of course. But your physical system, flesh and bones, is of course very much connected with how our nervous system is. For example, if I'm tensed in the nervous system, my muscles start to tense up, and the tension in my mind reflects back into my physical system. So if I'm doing something physically in a certain way, I can actually clean out or balance out or activate more on the subtler layer of our being. So by doing these breathing techniques, I'm actually cleaning out my mental system and my emotional system as well. So that with these breathing techniques, we become able to activate, to open up with the hyperventilation breathing techniques. With the cleansing breathing techniques, we start to balance, to clean out the energy system. And then with the calming, relaxing hypoventilation, the calming breathing techniques, we start to balance, to be able to go into a state of deep meditation, right? So this is like the life awareness technique, in which we have these three breathing techniques, these ancient pranayama techniques, to balance, clean out, and improve our whole life, so to say, right? So enough talking, let's experience this, because otherwise it's just a nice theory, blah, 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 and then you just carry on with your day. But with a lot of these things, when you feel it, then you really know it, right? When you experience these things, then you really know it. And of course, with these things, we're not looking for spectacular sensation. We're not looking for lightning and firework or out-of-body experience or something like that. You can do that by taking certain types of plant medicine or mushrooms or drugs, or hyperventilate for 1 hour straight. Yeah, of course. Then you have a very spectacular sensory experience. It has its own benefits. Again, I'm not criticizing, but I'm just saying this is not what we're trying to do in this case. What we try to do is just enough of opening up, just enough hyperventilation to open up a little bit and activate the energy system. Then just enough of the cleansing breathing technique to clean out and balance out. And then just enough of calm breathing technique, so that we can just sit for a moment and feel like, you know what? Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just being alive is already good enough, right? Okay. So friends, all good? All good. Beautiful. Now, I'll just demonstrate once what we are going to do. The first breathing technique that we're going to do for 2 rounds is strong spinal breathing. And I have my hands just on my knees. I'll just demonstrate first what we're going to do, right? I take a deep exhalation, I round the spine, and a deep inhalation. I open up the chest and the heart and the chin up to open up the throat, to open up these different energy points in the body. And we're going to do this for 2 rounds. First round, 12 breaths. Second round, 15 breaths. Nothing too fast, nothing too much, just gentle. If you got some serious heart or brain problems or suffer from panic attacks, these kind of things, do it very gentle. Don't do it too strong, just nice. After your last exhalation, we inhale just halfway. Just inhale halfway. This is called Kevala Kumbhaka. And you stop for some time your breath. Maybe 20 seconds, maybe a minute, however long you want. Then if you really want to breathe again, you make a full deep inhalation. With the chin down, you can contract the muscles around the perineum and lifting the chest up like a balloon that wants to fly up. I will talk a lot more about this, of course, as I mentioned before, in these other courses, the Breathwork Instructor course. But there is an energy that wants to go up, which is prana energy, and there is an energy that wants to ground, that wants to go down, and that is apana. We want to cultivate both. So feeling in this breath hold, this antara kumbhaka, when you hold the breath in, that there is an energy that wants to go up. Keep your glottis open, as if you still keep on breathing in, as if you still keep that upward movement of energy, right? And then after that we relax. Then the next technique, the second technique, we're going to do 3 techniques today, is exhaling out through the nose with force and pulling in the belly, and a relaxed inhalation through the nose. So and you can do first about once every 2 seconds, but if you feel it's quite okay, you do once every second, or maybe even once every 2 times a second. But you should never feel that you're losing the pace. It should just be a nice pace. And of course, this is an advanced breathwork webinar, so I take it that most of you have already done it, because otherwise, just if it's really the first time, just very slowly exhale through the nose, feel the belly pulling in, and relaxed inhalation, feel the belly coming out. And you do that nice and slow. So that's the second breathing technique. Ferdinand, how are we sitting during the breathing? I'm going to explain that in a moment, right? It was a question in the chat. So the last breathing technique is a breathing technique which is more about that apana and prana, that upward movement and that downward movement, in which we slowly inhale through the nose, we keep the throat open, and then for a little moment we pause, and then with the exhalation we release, and when you feel you've breathed out enough, you keep relaxing, but you stop your physical breath, but you keep letting go. So with the inhalation, you slowly inhale, you expand, you grow. For a little moment, you pause when the lungs are full enough. And then you exhale, you release, and you keep releasing when you relax. It's life awareness breath. It's a very, very beautiful breath, but it's more advanced. Not because it's technically so difficult, but because you need to do it really with your awareness. And you need to do it with presence. Okay? And then after we relax, and I'm going to guide us through a nice little meditation. About the sitting, you can sit like I'm sitting now, or you can sit on your knees, you can sit cross-legged, however you want to sit, it's all good, as long as your spine is straight and your body is open. Before we do this breathing technique, for just 3 minutes, we move a little bit the body, because it's with the movement of the body that we open up even more and activate our energy system, so that we can do these techniques even better, right? So come up into a standing position, make a little dance, shake the hands loose, jump a little bit. Good. We rotate the hands, make a nice deep breath in, lean back a little bit, lengthen up, then exhale, rotate the hands the other direction, press the wrist back, tip of the toes, and inhale, up, lean back, and exhale. And 2 more times. This really helps to open up, of course, our respiratory system. It helps to activate by moving the different joints in the body. But then after our last time, we interlock the fingers, push them out, and we exhale, come to one side. We inhale, push up, push up, push up, and exhale, come the other side. Let's do this for 2 more breaths. We inhale, push up, push up, push up, and we exhale. In and out. And one more time. Up, 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 as much as you can. Tip of the toes, reach, reach, reach up. And relax the hands down. Feel the blood flowing back into the fingers. Feel your body. Good. Let's twist a little bit the body. One knee up, the opposite elbow goes over and look back. Like that a couple of times. Just to open up the spine a little bit more. To activate blood flow. Let's do this for 5 more times. Beautiful. Already feeling a bit more loose. One more last thing, which is really fantastic. This 5-minute warm-up, by the way, it's also part of this thing that I'm teaching. It's also on YouTube, the 5-minute warm-up. But it's great to do in the morning, because if you widen your legs now, if you just make this solid foundation, you strengthen your legs. You tuck your tailbone underneath, you bring the arms up, really active. And for 4 more breaths, you're going to stand like this with a kind of strength, with a solidness, cultivating willpower, because maybe you start to feel it becomes a bit heavy or you want to move, but you just keep like smiling. Like, I can stand like this for another hour if I need to. No worries. But you develop physical and mental strength by just standing like this for last long, slow breath. Beautiful. Coming up, let's interlock the fingers. Bring the head down and then bend one knee. Bring the head down to your toes. And then the other side, bend one knee, bring the head down to the toes. And like that a couple of times from side to side. Open up your inner thighs. Good, let's keep the head down below the heart for 3 more deep breaths. Bring the arms all the way over the body. Keep pushing the buttocks back and up to open up the inner thighs. With every exhalation, come a bit deeper. With every inhalation, increase the blood flow around the brain. And slowly, coming up. Step back, take a couple of calm breaths. Feel your body. Feel the blood flow has increased in the arms, the hands, the fingers. Learning to feel life already happening in the body just by standing, just by breathing. Beautiful. So now everything is opened up, activated, ready to do some nice breathing techniques. Good. So with all these techniques, Don't push your limits too much. And in this case, we're not going to do very much, very long. But try to do it with your full awareness. And also after each round, trying to really feel what is happening in the physical system, in the energy system, after doing a round of these techniques. Because things start to move, things start to open up, but in a very subtle, balanced way. But learn to give that space, to let that happen. So take a little moment to relax your breath, to sit comfortably, to maybe move a bit the shoulders, the arms, the head, or just to ground yourself in your sitting. And throughout the session, try to constantly bring your awareness back through the body. Maybe loosen up a bit more the eyebrows. Why not? We're going to do a beautiful practice together. So with a relaxed mindset, loosen up your eyebrows. Maybe little mini smile, tongue against the roof of the mouth. You feel your arms, your hands, your fingers. You feel the breath. Like you set an intention. Okay, for the coming about 15 minutes, I'm going to cultivate health, cultivate strength, cultivate my consciousness. Beautiful. Let's do this. So we're going to start with the first round. Let's do 15 breaths, 15 of these strong spinal breaths. We slide the hands over the knees, we exhale, we round the spine. We inhale, we open up the heart, bring the chin a little bit up. We exhale, round the spine, and inhale. And out, and in, and out, and in. And like this, keep going. If you feel all right, just in a nice rhythm, nothing too fast, nothing too forceful. But with nice deep breaths, we start to activate, to open up, to unblock the whole energy system as we breathe with the whole body, with the whole spine. With the inhalation, opening the heart, opening the throat chakra, opening the whole energy system. With the exhalation, opening up the back side of the body, the spine, the neck. So for the last 5 breaths, we use strong, deep breaths to unblock and open up a little bit more. The last 2. Nice deep breaths. And after our last deep, deep inhalation, we exhale completely. And then we inhale just halfway. Inhale halfway. Keep your hands open on your knees. Your hands open on your knees. Just relax for a moment. Let the technique do its work. No need to breathe for some time. Let the technique do its work. And of course, whenever you really want to breathe, you make a deep inhalation. And you hold the inhalation, Antara Kumbhaka. But with these breath holds, always loosen up into it. Loosen up into it. Loosen up the face. Loosen up the jaw. Give space. And whether you are already breathing or still holding the breath, it's all good. It's all good. But make little scan through the body. Keep making scans through the body to merge your awareness with what is here and now, with the sensations on the body. For some time, just prepare for the second, the last round of this strong spinal breathing. That you prepare mentally, you prepare physically for another round to open up, to unblock, to release. Wonderful. So exhaling, rounding the spine, and inhale, and out, and in, and out, and in. And like this, keep going with nice, full, deep breaths. For a total, if it feels alright, of 21 breaths. But at any time, if you feel it's enough, then it's enough. Also good. But otherwise, use the strong breaths, use a bit of work, a bit of effort to activate, to unblock, to open up, to release the whole energy system. If it still feels alright, keep breathing like this. It's like stepping through the heavy snow up to the top of a mountain. You just keep going, no thinking, just following the rhythm of the breath. And if at any time you feel it's enough, then you just relax. Otherwise, the last 3 deep breaths. And after your last deep inhalation, you exhale fully, and then a halfway inhalation, just halfway inhalation with the hands open on the knees. And let the technique in every cell of the body, let it do its thing, let it harmonize, let it balance, let it open up, let it heal. Giving space, all good. And of course, whenever you really want to breathe again, that full deep inhalation and holding of the breath. But become aware of what is happening internally in the energy system. You notice it's more activated now. Maybe even the mind is a little bit more active. Maybe the visual cortex is more active. The sensations in the body are more active. This is all part of the whole process of activating, releasing, and opening up. Just let it happen. So that for some more breaths, for some more moments, you give the space to let the intelligence of life, of the body, do its thing. It's all good. It's all good. Make a little scan through the body. prepare for one round of this Kapalabhati, to move a bit more that prana, that energy that we've just been releasing, but also to clean out, to unblock, to open up. So with the spine nice and straight, if you have not done this much or first time, then place a hand on the belly and feel with the inhalation the belly comes out a bit, and then with a forceful exhalation the belly pulls in. It's slowly in and out, slowly in and out, slowly in and out, in and contract, in and contract. And if it feels easy, speed it up a little bit until you find a nice rhythm for you. Just a nice rhythm where you can feel, okay, now it's like almost like sitting on a horse in gallop. You find a nice rhythm, you flow with that rhythm. There's no need to frown, friends. There's no need to tense up your shoulders. It's just the abdominal area that is moving. You keep going like this for some more breaths until you feel it's enough. And then you make a nice deep inhalation and you hold that deep inhalation again, that upward moving of the prana. You hold for as long as you comfortably can. Feel free to do that full inhalation if you have not done already. If you are already holding the breath, try to always have the tongue against the roof of the mouth. Keep the jaw relaxed and make like a little mini smile. That you do it with a mentality of, wonderful. I'm doing myself a great favor here just to be able to sit like that. Maybe with a sense of gratitude to life, to God, like, wonderful, I can do this. I can do all these techniques. I can improve my health. Beautiful. Feeling that expansion of your prana, feeling that expansion of your life energy. And then after, you just relax. Relax your breath. Try to feel on a very subtle level that the body feels a little bit different than before you started doing all these breathing techniques. That the mind is in a bit of a different state. That the breath feels a little bit different. Feel the effects, subtle effects. And prepare for the last breathing technique, which is all about subtleness. Not breathing deep, but just breathing enough. Not breathing so slow that you're out of breath, but just subtle. So after your last exhalation, make a very slow inhalation through the nose, from the belly to the heart to the chest. When you feel the lungs are full enough, then you pause for a little moment, you feel expansion. Then you exhale, you let go. Then when you've exhaled enough, you stop physical breathing, but you keep letting go. And like that, the movement of the inhalation is an upward and expanding. The movement with an exhalation is a letting go, also in a way expanding, but more grounding. Doing this with a mindset of appreciation. Every breath is worth much more than gold. Breath is life. Like you really feel wonderful. The inhalation is nurturing. I'm gathering beautiful oxygen. I'm gathering life energy. The exhalation is a letting go on the deepest level from the tips of the fingers, the face, the toes. Like that, every breath is another opportunity to balance, to cultivate. Make use of the last 3 breaths. Can you breathe with full awareness? Can you feel the whole journey, the whole length of a slow inhalation, the whole releasing with the whole body, with the exhalation? You're letting go. Then for a little moment, no more controlling of your breath. No more trying, no more doing. But it's like you take a little step back. You take a little step back and you just watch how the breath flows naturally. And with every exhalation, actually you can let go a little bit more even. Like you let the awareness go deeper within. So that for some time your whole nervous system, your whole mind, your whole emotional system, everything has some space to balance out. Let all balance out. It's all good. With this relaxed mindset, bring the awareness to the fingers and start sending some signals to your fingers that you can move very slowly the fingers. You become fully aware how that works, moving the fingers. You can move the hands a bit if you want. You can move the neck a bit if you want. And taking a moment to rub the hands together, and placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart, like you're breathing some kindness, some goodness into your physical body. Like you're breathing, okay, I'm going to take good care of this body. I'm going to take good care of this mind. I'm going to take good care of this heart. Like you smile a bit with the heart into the whole body so that your whole brain, your whole nervous system goes into a state of appreciation, a state of gratitude even. Like, wonderful. Let's do this. Let's ignite the good energy, the good vibes, the health in this body, in this mind, in this heart. Beautiful. So, friends, may we all be blessed with good health, with good energy, with wisdom, with love. Namaste. Feel free to massage a little bit your eyes, massage a bit your face, massage a bit your body, however you want to do that. But some connection, some good attention. 1. So friends, wouldn't it be wonderful for those of you who have not done so yet, to do something like that every day, right? To every day take 20 minutes of your day, maybe 15, to just get back to your foundation, to get back to your center, so to say, and start to live life with a bit more awareness, with a bit more presence. Otherwise, we wake up in the morning, we jump under the shower, we grab our coffee, we jump behind the computer, and then maybe we start to feel disconnected in life, and we feel maybe even through this disconnection too much stress or anxiety because we have lost the connection with our foundation, we have lost the connection with our true self. So that's why it's so important to do this every day and to start making this a normality, just like brushing your teeth to take care of your mouth hygiene. We brush our mind, we brush our emotional system to take care of our energy hygiene, right? It's so important. But more and more people nowadays, thank God, are really starting to wake up and open up to that. And of course, I'd like to invite you, if you have maybe done so already, to do the Breath is Life course. In that course, I talk all about these different breathing techniques, and then maybe even doing the Breathwork instructor course, in which you can learn how to share this knowledge with others, so that we can together inspire many people to change our way of living, and by doing so, to change our society in a way. Because the change in the world is not going to happen because something outside of us happens, or I don't think when governments change, or no, it has to come from within each individual. The world's going to be a brighter place when each individual is going to start igniting the light within themselves, right? So let's take responsibility to that for ourselves first, to ignite that light within, so that we can become more of a light for others also, but then also learning to share this in the world, and like that the world will start to change. And I believe the season is ready, the world season is ready, the ground is fertile for the seeds to really start sprouting. So let's do that, friends. So great that you could join. If you are interested in doing that course, I will put a link, or maybe Obed, who is assisting today, he will put a link, there we go, into the chat. And I will also, if you're interested, finish up with a little video about this course. But otherwise, lots of peace, lots of love, lots of good energy. Let's make this world a better place together, friends. And let's brighten up the world, right? So feel free to unmute yourself, friends, and say goodbye to us.
Breathwork is one of the fastest growing wellness trends and is bringing the healing, connection, and empowerment the world needs now more than ever. Breathwork is literally changing the world. More and more scientific evidence is showing how breathwork can help in treating a great variety of illnesses like depression, asthma, eczema, insomnia, stress, and even forms of cancer. Become a breathwork instructor and learn how to inspire, connect, heal and support, and make a beautiful change in this world.
Hello, friends. Now, a lot of you are already familiar with the wonderful power of breathwork and pranayama, and the power it has on not just the physical body, but also the mind and the emotional system. I've created a course to deepen your knowledge about this, to learn all about the different breathing techniques, the stronger breathing techniques, the gentler, softer, calmer breathing techniques, but also very much what is scientifically actually happening when you do these different pranayama or breathing practices, and what kind of effect does it have on not just the physical body, but also the mind and the emotional system. I've created this course also as a self-development program that in 4 weeks, through journaling, through daily habitual patterns that you implement in your life, you will make a great transformation so that you become a good teacher. Not just teaching out of your mind and scientific knowledge, but out of the heart, out of feeling, and being able to share your energy with others and inspire the lives of others. So I hope you can take time to take a look at this course and learn how to tap into the power of mind and heart and share this knowledge with others.
The Life Awareness Breathwork Instructor course is a complete breathwork, pranayama and meditation program. The program consists of 2 courses. In the first part, one will learn 15 breathing and pranayama techniques, essential meditation techniques, and develop a solid self-practice and understanding of the workings of mind and emotions. The second part is an intensive 4-week training program, focused on deepening your knowledge and becoming a great teacher. This part consists of over 75 sessions, 25 articles, and brain-enhancing audio files for your own practice. You will get 5 weekly Q&A sessions, advanced breathwork tutorials and sessions, basic and advanced breathwork anatomy classes, a self-development program of journaling assignments, inner wisdom sessions, and practical insights to apply into your everyday life. After finishing the course, you will have gone through a journey of inner transformation and have learned all the knowledge to become an inspiring, empowering, and true breathwork instructor. Start your training today. Develop the light within yourself and start shining it into the world.
These breathing practices have really changed my life. They've given my life meaning, they've given it purpose, they've given it direction, they've given it focus.
I'm around breathwork modalities for many years now. And let me tell you, this course is life-changing.
Hi, my name is Kerry McCarthy. I have just completed the Breathwork Instructor course and I just want to say that it's been a wonderful journey, fabulous experience. I've always been passionate about pranayama.
Yeah, it definitely gave me the confidence to teach breathwork and teach it from a place of honesty, a place of experience.
And this course has helped me a lot on my journey toward becoming more aligned with who I am and what I want to achieve in life.
I suffer from Parkinson's, and these courses have aided me greatly in reducing the symptoms. Thank you, Michael. You're doing a wonderful job. Namaste.
It just changed the way I do my routines, the way I see things, my perspective. It's been amazing. So I really recommend this course to anyone.
I recommend this course to everybody. If you are a yoga teacher, or if you are not a yoga teacher, just for your own well-being.
And I can't recommend it enough. Just give it a go. It's just been one of the most beautiful experiences that I've had. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yoga Lab. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you and so much gratitude.
Thank you.
You want to get to know yourself better and deepen your connection with yourself and those around you. And